thing is, until you can erase 3 Februaries, shut up. Bang! Quality over quantity. LeBron has beaten some of the best competition in NBA history. He's the GOAT emoji. I will not cuss. I will not cuss. I will not swear. I will not swear.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the latest and greatest edition of the Brian Snow Show. Brian Snow is here with you, and we are connecting now to all of our radio affiliates, including both SM sports stations and as well as WLEO 26.7 in Baltimore, Maryland. You want to be a part of the revolution that will not be online, then drop an email to snowmanmultimedia at gmail.com. That is snowmanmultimedia at gmail.com. And boy, we got a lot of stuff in the works, and I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there. Let me thank the good fellows at CSTV, our proud television station, for serving those in Nevada and all points west, and serving 80 countries around the world. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I repeat, thank you for having the nerve to take us on and having the confidence to take on this show and take on other shows as well. And that station is really being built up. Give them a visit at CSTVnow.com. It's Ask Me Anything Friday, and I suspect there are going to be a lot of folks that want to know what I'm thinking, how I'm thinking it. You can ask me anything about anything. I really, really mean that. Second hour, we're scheduled to have Mike Debate on we're scheduled to have Mike Debate on the second half of the show today, talking all things football. But this first half, good afternoon, I should say, to Vic Allah. And Vic, I need you to stand by. I might need you. But I want y'all to really get to know me. That's something I can do for the fans every Friday. And I'll leave it at one day each week, like we do in the morning for the you know what segment. I can have this be, us getting to really know each other. And I want to make this fun as well. As we approach 700 subscribers on YouTube. We are 31 subscribers away from the magic 700. You may see my microphone is a little bit tilted, but this actually is working out. I just have to put it in another spot. I don't have any reads this afternoon, but I can say we are presented by BetUS.com, and if you use the code Snowman when you're signing up, you get a 125% match on your first deposit. Play-by-play with JJ is in the house with us, and he and I are going to simulcast the game tonight as the Phillies, coming off of a sweep of the Chicago Cubs, will host the Washington Nationals. He'll have his call. I'll have mine. Check us both out. If you haven't done so, join the Play-by-Play with JJ family. He's doing some fabulous content over there, and he always has supported me since we have gotten to know each other. And Victor is here in the chat, so we're just going to have a whole lot of fun today. Good afternoon, Victor. What's up?
How is it going, Snowman?
I'm doing good. I have like 100 ounces of water next to me.
Hey, I just killed about 64 already.
Yeah, I understand that. And I'm probably going to have one more round of caffeine before I call it a day, before Phillies and Nationals tonight. Again, this is Ask Brian Anything. Victor is here with me, and I know he's going to throw some questions at me because I haven't been in Chicago for a long time. So get your questions in the chat. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the like and subscribe button. All right, Victor, throw one at me.
Well, speaking of Chicago, I just
Yes, sir.
found out something interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The Taste of Chicago has moved dates.
Again?
Yes. Well, it is now going to be on September 8th to, I believe,
Oh, they
September.
moved it all the way to
12th.
September.
Yes, they did. Now,
You mean to tell me one of the most popular events because of COVID got them so spooked they moved to September?
they moved to September, and here's the other thing: is that, and this is where my question comes in.
Mm-hmm.
We know that we usually equate the taste along with the 4th of July, so this is a good two-parter.
Mm-hmm.
What is one of your favorite moments on the 4th of July? And also, is there a favorite moment where you actually went to the Taste of Chicago?
Okay. Favorite 4th of July moment.
Mm-hmm.
I have two of them.
Okay.
One, celebrating it with my nephew, with Remy, having the only time I had a chance to celebrate with Remy.
Mm-hmm.
And the second, the first time I ever celebrated with my son, with Dakota,
Nice.
with my kids, and seeing Dakota just launch some fireworks. And this is like right after Jody and I got married
Mm-hmm.
in 2019. So that's the first part. Favorite moment from the Taste of Chicago. I have two of those.
Okay.
Seeing the fireworks on the lake in a boat.
Oh, yeah.
Because remember, they used to offer boat rides.
They did.
They used to offer free boat. For those of you that's been to the Taste of Chicago in the past, they used to offer free boat rides to see the fireworks. Because the fireworks usually occurred on the last night, but then they moved it to the night before because a lot of chaos happened in 2004.
Yes.
And then they put a price tag on the boat rides. But I had two occasions where I had a chance to see the fireworks on the water in a boat. And the second one was the first time I ever went by myself. The first time I ever went to Taste of Chicago without my parents, I love them dearly, without my parents bothering me, without my sister bothering me. And that happened, and y'all, and I'm really going to date myself here. That happened after I turned 30. I snuck out of Minnesota for a couple of days because I had a couple of days stored up, and I went home and I was in the middle of the madness.
Yeah.
I snuck away for the holiday. Folks didn't like it, but I snuck away for the holiday.
Nice. For me, I'll never forget my first Taste of Chicago. Went with my grandmother. Basically, what we would do is my dad, my mom, and Brandon Christian wasn't born at the time. We would all go to my grandmother. She would then take the train from her house. We'd go all the way to downtown Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And we go up there, and we were right next to Buckingham Fountain.
Oh yeah.
And would just enjoy it. The other time that was kind of nice was when I took a young lady by the name of Latoya Robinson with me, if you remember that name.
Quite well.
And we actually went for a little bit. We enjoyed the fireworks.
Flying down Lakeshore Drive.
Mm-hmm.
And she thought we were totally nuts.
Yep. And we took a picture in front of the fountain. It was all really, really cool.
Good.
As far as like 4th of July,
Mm-hmm.
I think it was about like 6 or 7 at the time. And my step grandfather, he was a big cigar smoker.
Yeah.
And he was also a trucker, so he would get a lot of fireworks from Indiana.
Yeah.
And he would bring like a big old box of fireworks, and he would like puff on the cigar, and I would be able to light the fireworks and send them off. And it was always really cool to do that.
Good. I know that was fun.
Oh, it was. And unfortunately, you don't have that anymore.
You really don't.
I mean, back in the day, we had all types of fireworks. From the Roman candles to
Oh man,
bottle rockets,
I was gonna say, you remember the
streamers.
bottle rockets?
Yes,
You remember
absolutely.
you remember the bottle rockets? I mean, who? If you grew up in Chicago, if you knew fireworks back in the day, you knew what bottle rockets were. Do it for a break. We'll pause for a break. When we come back, Victor and I will. Victor will throw me some more questions, and JJ threw me a very good question.
Okay.
So I will answer that, and I will do a whole lot more when y'all get back. The thing is, until you can erase 3 Februaries, shut up.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
Thursday nights are wrestling night on CSTV. Tune in every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific to see all the amazing Next Level Pro Wrestling stars on Thursday Night Throwdown on CSTVNow.com and the CSTV app on your Roku device.
PK Tire Pros, your one-stop on-the-spot auto service headquarters for a complete line of quality tires and auto services. For years, we have provided the Stockton, California area with the latest products and unprecedented services for everything we sell. And for years, our customers have been coming back. Take a look around. If you don't find what you need, visit us in Stockton, California. From the latest and best in tire technology to the services required to keep your vehicle looking good and running great, PK Tire Pros can get you out on the road quickly and at an affordable price. Stop by soon to see why so many people consider PK Tire Pros to be the one-stop shop for all of their tire needs. At PK Tire Pros, our friendly and knowledgeable staff, quick and dependable service professionals, and affordable prices all come together to make driving out on a new set of tires easy. On top of that, we never tire of tires. Stop by and see us, and you'll be glad you did.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
It's Ask Brian Anything Day on this Friday. We are presented by BetUS.com as well as Invader Coffee. Want to sponsor the show? Drop a call to 919-247-3622. That's 919-247-3622, or drop an email to snowmanmultimedia@gmail.com. That is snowmanmultimedia@gmail.com. Drop a text in the new text line at 502, I beg your pardon, 467-9619. And boy, there were some questions that flew in during the break. Victor Locke has joined me. JJ's first question: contracts. Not many people in the business talk about them, but before you sign a contract with an agency or a sports company, what should you do? I'll answer it this way, JJ. Review all notes. Review everything down to the last detail, because I can tell you several times, and Victor's been with me, and he pro bono and kind of as at default acted as my agent, and he was really that way after my dad died.
Yeah,
because I didn't want to trust anybody else. And the one thing Victor has taught me, even with the fraudulent contracts that both of us signed and couldn't get anything paid from him, read everything.
Yeah,
that's the first thing. The second thing is when you read the contract, make sure you keep a copy and make sure you hold the people accountable that made you sign that you wanted to sign the contract for. I will say that made you sign the contract, but keep everybody accountable. Keep everybody accountable. One more time with JJ. I'm really trying to get more reps with hockey and football this year. It's tough because I got into both sports late and hockey isn't as popular and football is only once a week. Don't believe the hype. Football and hockey are both very, very popular.
I will say this. I was going to say the same thing. I was going to say, don't believe that.
Man,
I know there are some circles where it's not as popular, but trust and believe you got some die-hard hockey fans.
Listen, JJ. Listen, JJ. Let me tell you my story how I got into hockey. Grant Fuhrer was my first favorite goalie from 1985, and Murray Bannerman, former Chicago Blackhawk, became my other favorite. Man, please don't believe the hype when it comes to hockey because people would like to have you believe that hockey is not a popular sport. Wrong.
Right.
Dead wrong. And I got into the Blackhawks the same year I got into the Edmonton Oilers, which was 1985, because I loved Wayne Gretzky and Mark Messier and Yari Curry. And as I mentioned, Grant Fuhrer and that whole dynastic team. But the first night I listened to hockey highlights, the first time I listened to hockey highlights was 1985 when the Oilers came into Chicago Stadium. They were doing their thing. They trailed 6-4 and they trailed 4-1. I beg your pardon. I went to bed. I wake up the next morning. I'm getting ready for school. And the next thing I know, they're talking about the Hawks came back and beat the Oilers 6-4.
Yep.
Like, what? And that introduced me to one of the best hockey voices I've ever listened to in Pat Foley. For 34 years, be it radio or television, he was the voice of the Chicago Blackhawks. And besides that game, the first playoff highlight I remember with Pat Foley is this.
Hawks win! Hunter, the shot, he scores! Hawks win! Hawks win! Daryl Sutter!
1985. Met Center, Game 6. Hawks won that game 4-3 in double overtime.
Man,
in double overtime.
You talk about a moment that'll last. Unfortunately, I was alive, but I was probably like 2 at the time, so I wouldn't remember it. But I seen clips of that particular moment, and I'm just like, man. I mean, we had one similar to when the Hawks won the cup after they were down 3-1.
Yep.
And I was about to go to bed, and literally, I was just about out.
Oh, yeah.
Just about out, and I hear that they scored. And I'm like, okay, 3-2. No, it was a 3. Yeah, it was 3-2 before, and then it went to 3-3. And I'm like, okay, I can go to bed, sleep. And it's like, wait, 3-4? Wait.
3-2 was the final. It was 2-1 Boston.
Well, yes.
It was 2-1 Boston. I'm trying to remember who scored. Bickle scored 1. Dave Bolin. Dave Bolin and Brian Bickle.
Yeah. And I'm just like, huh?
Let me find that clip right now. Bolin and Dave Bolin and Brian Bickle. I was on a train. Seriously, I was on a train when that happened. Quick question, JJ. I'm trying to get more. I already read that one. His question is, how do I find radio casters and TV casters to listen to? Oh, that's easy. YouTube.
Yeah.
You got social media at your disposal now, JJ.
Nowadays, you're not seeing you're seeing more and more play-by-play calls and probably better play-by-play calls on YouTube. Chills Adonis does games all the time.
JJ.
JJ as well. Same with Tom Grossi. You got a lot of guys who are starting to do YouTube, Snowman too.
Tom Grossi, Scooter Magruder. Love watching him.
You see a lot of guys who are starting to go on YouTube and get games that usually are not being broadcast.
Well,
that's the thing.
Here's the cup. Here are the cup winning calls from John Weideman from WGN Radio. I can honestly say the toughest sport I've learned to call is hockey.
Because it's very fast paced.
It's very fast paced, and you got to keep your head on a swivel.
And there's more rules.
Yeah, there's more rules, and this is what I encourage all. This is what I encourage all broadcasters to do: learn the rules.
There are three things I've noticed in hockey and that's why I say I can never call hockey. One, you have different lines. It's usually not just one or two. Like in most sports, you'll probably have like one or two substitutions. No, they're changing out whole lines.
Oh yeah.
So there's less. So you have
4 or 5 players at a time.
Exactly. You have 4 or 5 players at a time. So you have to then say, okay, here's name number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now they're out. Now switch these people back in. And to keep that going is crazy. And of course, like I said, it's so fast paced. The lines, the rules, there's so much stuff going on. It's like you won't be able to cover, you won't be able to catch it unless you're really trained. And this is what I said before about the magic of Snowman. I understood the moment. I remember the moment, but I couldn't remember the score. And he picked the score immediately. This is what you do all the time.
Well, that's what I was taught.
I can come up with a moment, but I can't come up with the actual scores like right at the top of my head. Here's a good question.
That's what I do. That's what I was taught to do by John Kalidas. Learned it listening to Jim Durham, Wayne Larrivee, Pat Foley, like I said, John Rooney. Time and score. There's an article. There's a website. I think there's a podcast with that same name. Time and score. Actually, the podcast name is Learn the Damn Score. Is Say the Damn Score. I beg your pardon. Podcast. I want any play-by-play broadcaster, whether you're a veteran like me or you're getting started like JJ, look at the podcast, Say the Damn Score. You'll learn a lot from the folks that he interviews. One of my very, 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 very good friends does that podcast. And you're right, JJ. Time and score is the number one rule. Time and score is the number one rule. It's a rule that I live by, and a rule that I will continue to live by.
Here's a
time and score. Go ahead.
Here's a good question. I've asked this to other people, but I'm gonna ask you. Was there ever like an old school TV show that you just watched religiously? Besides Price is Right, because I know that's one of them.
Damn. You have.
Particularly I'm talking about a cop show. And had a kick butt theme song too.
Now see, you're not being fair. Because you know the one I got hooked on. And it's it's the question I'm gonna answer with probably where you're leading me.
Go ahead.
There's this thing called Law and Order SVU.
Yep.
And Victor and I got hooked on that show at the same time. And there are 2 reasons.
I know
the episode that we watched. You know both of them. The episode that Victor and I watched while we were living together in Gary, Indiana. Victor was getting ready to go to work. Okay. And well, let me answer a comment really quick from Ryan McCoffey. He says, I'd like to team up with you on some hockey games if you'll have me. Well, Ryan, I'd love to team up with you also. And JJ, I'd love to team up with y'all to have y'all on my hockey calls because I plan to do some more hockey.
That sounds like a dynamic duo. Or dynamic
a lot of hockey. a lot. I plan to do a lot of hockey, and I also plan a studio show that will blow TSN away.
That's not going to be like a dynamic trio right there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, back to the question that Victor asked me. Is there a cop show that I got hooked on? And believe me, growing up in the 80s, there were a ton of them.
Oh my God, yes.
But I didn't like any of them.
I did, but I'm
Didn't
going to
like
let
any
you
of
go first.
Cops started it. The reality type cop shows, Cops started it, and I never watched it.
Who? Bad Boys.
I listened to the song, and as soon as the show started, I was out.
Right.
Now, y'all can have this.
Right.
My mother said, why don't you want to watch it? No, thank you. Or as Jim Carrey said best in Ace Ventura, no spank you.
You don't want to entertain stupidity. That's
exactly. Now, to the show that Victor and I got hooked on the same day. I come in the house from running an errand, going to the store, and I see Victor with this show on, and I'm going, okay, what the hell are you watching? And Victor is just glued to the television. And he looked at me and said, dude, you got to watch this with me. And I saw it was a cop show, and I started to go in my office, and Victor stood up, blocked me from going into the office. Thank God the show was in the commercial.
Yeah.
And he said, you're going to watch this show with me. I said, Victor, we're on the second floor. I'll throw you out of here and get away with it. Victor starts laughing. And then he says, as tired as you are, I'd like to see you try to pick me up. Then I shocked the daylights out of him. And I picked him up. Now, granted, I planted him right on the couch, but I picked him up. And then Law and Order SVU came back on, and my celebrity crush from that day on was Mariska Hargitay.
Yeah.
I nearly clotheslined Victor for getting me hooked on that show.
And it's kind of fun because...
But there's a second reason why we got hooked on that show. I revealed mine. I'll let Victor reveal his from that same episode.
Same episode and episodes afterwards, Brian was hooked because of Mariska Hargitay, which, fun fact, there was a female character in the Power Rangers movie. She was kind of like a warrior princess. Like, you know who the first person they actually were going to go with for that role?
Mariska.
Yeah, exactly. But I saw Brian, he was always glued whenever Mariska Hargitay was on, and she was like the main character. So, of course, she was always on there.
Yep.
However, there was one other person, another actress. Her name is Diane Neal.
And Diane Neal showed up in Pink.
Yeah, in Pink. But as far as like my all-time favorite cop show, it's an old, it's an old one. It's kind of obscure. Most people don't know about it. It's called Night Heat.
I remember that.
Not In the Heat of the Night, but Night Heat.
Night Heat. Yeah, I remember that.
This one, the theme is awesome. I listen to that theme at least once a week. It's so awesome.
Well, yeah.
But the other reason why is because of the city at night. Because they would have a lot of different pictures of the city at night. And I looked and I kept saying, this has to be filmed in Chicago. Almost to the point where I psyched myself up and said, I know exactly which street it's on for the ending credits.
Yes.
I know where it is. It's in Chicago. It's on this street. And then I looked up at Google and found out it was filmed in Toronto.
Darn it. Hey, but listen, Toronto has a hell of a skyline, though.
I was gonna say that. I'm like, but I realized, like, I might be wrong, but Toronto is a beautiful city. I wish I could see it.
Gorgeous.
It is a beautiful city.
Gorgeous city.
Absolutely
I thought the same thing. I thought the same thing about the movie The Matrix, because they kept making references to Chicago.
Yes.
They kept making references to Chicago, especially we need an exit. Got one, State and Madison.
Yes.
How the hell did they make that look like State and Madison?
Right.
How the hell did they make that look? How the hell did they make that look like State and Madison?
I have no idea.
I mean, the guys that did the Matrix franchise are freaking brilliant.
Yeah,
How the hell did they make that look like State Madison?
I have no idea. I'm still shocked to this day.
How in the blue hell did they make that look like State Madison? JJ, I had 28 people on at 8, and then 8:15 I had 36 people. That means 8 people missed out on time and score. Yeah, they're lost.
Yeah, that's true.
They're lost.
That's true. Sometimes that's their loss, and they'll kick themselves later. You can't worry about it.
It looks better with short hair. I really don't care. This is
Either or.
This is something I tell Jody all the time, because she got scared when she cut her hair last year. 2 years ago, when we came up for a visit from North Carolina, and it was Labor Day weekend, because I had to go to Chicago to say goodbye to my mom and say goodbye to my parents' house.
Mm-hmm.
Jody was scared I wouldn't like her with short hair. I'm like, baby, I met you with short hair.
I'm gonna say it like this.
Like, I really don't care. I do not care whatsoever.
I put it like this. Most women who get worried about stuff like this, most men do not care whether your hair is long, short.
No.
They love you for you.
And
we love you for you. So
I love and married Jody Snow for who she is.
Exactly.
And then she kept I will tell this funny story before we go to break. She kept bugging me about who my celebrity crush was.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept saying I don't have one. Yeah, she knows me. Yeah. She knows me, because she kept looking at me and laughing.
Right.
She kept looking at me and laughing. She says, I know you have a celebrity crush. And she named hers, one of which is Shamar Moore. And I'm and I'm already biting my lip.
Right.
I'm already biting my lip. And I told her who it was, and she says, you have great taste.
Yeah.
That's my wife's response to me. A break for 2 minutes and more with Victor when we come back. The thing is, until you can erase 3 Februaries, shut up.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is The Brian Snow Show.
Hey y'all, Snowman here. Catch me, Cole Johnson, Wise El Jefe, Vicala, and the rest of the usual suspects and a few unusual suspects as we bring you 2 hours of the best sports talk you will ever watch and listen to. It's called Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Now on at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific on CSTV and CSTVNow.com. Join us, won't you?
One of the great things about ordering meals from Mother of Macros is that you can do it from the comfort of your own home. Click the national or local delivery link to access the menu, and we'll ship the meals right to your door. We understand you won't always have time to plan, shop, prepare, and cook to provide healthy nutrition for your family, so the process is simple and saves you hours. We know you're busy, so our meals are professionally prepared and packaged. You only need to heat them up and enjoy. We provide macro-balanced, delicious meals, chock full of fresh, local ingredients with none of the stuff you don't want to eat. Plus, our menu changes every week, keeping your taste buds wanting more. We take care of your meals so you can worry about everything else on your list. Mother of Macros.
I don't want to grow up. I'm basically a man-child. 2005 Burning Man. I put a single Mitsubishi 170-watt panel on the roof of my F-250, and I killed the batteries within like 15 minutes of the first time turning them on. So that's when I first got into solar. I was blown away by the customer service at Battleborn.
We want them to be happy with our product, because in the long run, they're the ones who are out there using it.
When you used to buy something American, like a car, something you knew was built really well, that's what I think of with Battleborn.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is The Brian Snow Show.
man. Having fun.
I gotta
Let's
give.
let's
I
get
could give.
let's get back to this before I get Victor back in here. Well, who is Tom and Scooter? Look up Tom Grossi and Scooter Magruder on YouTube. You get your answers there. Ask Brian Anything Friday, presented by SeatGeek. Use the code Snowman and get $20 off of your first order. Victor's with me, and he has a thought. Go ahead, Victor.
I gotta give Sick Diggy a shout out because he brought up another good show called NCIS.
Yes,
Maybe because of Abby Cioto, who was their kind of like their mortician / forensics person.
Mm-hmm.
Another attractive young lady.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I saw a take by someone that we know very well. He's on that 4-letter network.
Dear God.
He's the loudmouth known as Screaming A. Smith.
Okay, next. Let's move on. I don't want to. Look, I'm having a good Friday. I don't want to ruin it. Stop. Don't you open your mouth.
Oh, it's already open now.
All right, say it. Damn it.
Huh?
Go ahead and say it. Damn it.
Basically, they were talking about Larry Bird, and the question came up of who would you rather have for most of the game? And Stephen A. said he'd rather have Brandon Tatum for was it Brandon Tatum?
Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum, that's his name. Jason Tatum. I'm thinking about somebody else. Jason Tatum for 46 minutes, while Larry Bird for the last 2. When I tell you that studio was silent, it was silent. There were no church mice there. But here's the thing, though. I get what he was trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, Jason Tatum for the first 46 minutes because he can get you a comfortable lead. But when it's come down to crunch time, you need Larry Bird.
That part I understand. But go ahead, Victor.
But this does lead me to the question I'm going to ask. In all of your career, what is the one take, besides the one I'm pretty sure you're going to say, that you've heard that just made you just turn and look at the person like, huh? Like the most outlandish take you've ever heard your entire life?
We ain't got a couple of extra hours for that.
I'm just bringing it down to one.
I'll repeat my sentence. We do not have a couple of hours for that. With some of the people that I've met over 28 years and some that you've met over 20 hanging with me. Hell, we worked with a few of them.
Oh, Ryan McCarthy. First celebrity crush was Elizabeth Shue, so you are an Alley fan.
Karate Kid.
Yes.
Karate Kid. I bow to thee, Ryan McCarthy.
I was more of a Talent Tamita fan from Karate Kid 2, but not that one.
Elizabeth Shue was hot.
Yeah, Elizabeth Shue was a very pretty girl.
Let's be real. Elizabeth Shue was hot.
Even now.
All right.
Even now, she was in Cobra Kai. She still looks just as
beautiful. She looks the same way. She looks the same way she does now as she did back then when she did the original Karate Kid in 1984.
Exactly.
The hell?
You're like, that's not fair.
I hate you, McCoffey, but I love you for both of your answers. JJ had an answer to Celebrity Crush. Selena Gomez.
Understandable. She's to me way too young for me.
Mia Sara in Ferris Bueller's Day. Oh God, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Now, Snowman, you know my
the ultimate skip school day.
Now, Snowman, you actually know my first ever celebrity crush.
Cree Summer.
Yes.
The voice of Penny in Inspector Gadget.
The voice of Penny. I mean, she's still doing cartoon voices even to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of funny because now you can kind of tell when she's voicing someone because she does have that like raspy voice for the character she has.
Yeah.
Abby Lincoln, The Kids Next Door, Tiff Crust from Teenage Robot. But Penny was different from all of them.
Well,
like you had no idea that was Cree Summer.
Penny was the brains behind Inspector Gadget.
Yeah, but like you didn't know that was Cree Summer because it sounded completely alien to Cree Summer.
You didn't. You didn't know. Big Dog Shane Lake in the house with us. We're talking about celebrity crushes, and this is Ask Brian Anything Friday. So we're gonna improvise and just go with it. So you had a question for me. Oh, you pose your question again. I'll answer it now. Pose your question.
Oh, me?
Pose your question. And
Out of-
anybody that has a question for me, drop it in the chat. We'll do this the entire show.
Out of the majority of your career, who gave like the worst sports take ever? And you can narrow it down to 3. I'll give you 3.
There's a lot that gave the one obvious ones.
Right.
You know the most obvious ones.
Oh yeah.
Here, give me this button. Okay. Where is it? What is it? Okay. No, not that one. This one. I'm gonna hate drumming up his name. I don't want to, but I am doing this to answer a question.
Okay.
Rod West.
Oh. Yeah, we're not talking about him.
Yeah. I'll just give the name. I won't give any of the takes that he said.
Yeah. We're just going to bypass that person.
We're going to bypass all of it.
We're
going to bypass all of it. Okay. Then we'll bypass that, and I'll say Skip Bayless had one about Derrick Rose.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that one.
When Rose won the 2011 MVP. JJ has a good one. I remember this. Colin Cowherd saying Dan Patrick has a lack of work ethic. Dan Patrick has his own damn school. Colin Cowherd.
Right. Colin Cowherd.
And I think Colin Cowherd has a lack of work ethic. Oop, did I say that aloud? Let's go on. Anybody else has a question? Drop it in the chat. Victor, I know you got another one for me, so hit me with it.
So we know that you have a whole bunch of different venues that you want to go to. For me, what would be considered your mecca when it comes to sports venues that you would, if someone said tomorrow, hey, I need you to call a game in this venue. I will fly you out. I will get you there. I'll pay you.
Stadium.
Levi Stadium?
Levi Stadium. The original answer to that question was Candlestick Park.
Right.
The original answer. I've conquered the United Center. I've conquered West Ryan Arena. I've conquered Bankers Light Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. I've done
Soldier
the
Field.
RCA Dome. I've done Soldier Field 6 different times.
Comiskey.
7 times. I've done USA. I've done New Comiskey Park 4 times.
I think have you never done Wrigley?
Nippert Stadium in Cincinnati. I've done that. Have I done what?
Have you ever done Wrigley?
Once.
Okay.
City Championship 2007. Never went back.
Understandable.
Big Dog has 3 people have the worst take: Skip Bayless, Colin Cowpie, and Stephen A. Hole Smith. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you. Ryan says, not Madison Square Garden. Madison, MSG is up there. But for me, it would be either Candlestick Park, which is now gone. It would be Levi Stadium.
Yeah.
Behind that would be the Chase Center. Third would be the United Center, but I've already conquered it.
Right. I think for when it comes to like, from how I know you, your first love is going to be the 49ers. So anywhere the 49ers play is where you're going to go. It would be a great place, and I would be like a bucket list thing.
What's that?
To go to call a game in MSG. That's like a bucket list.
That would be a bucket. That would be a bucket list for me. That would be a bucket list for me.
But I think if you had a choice between Madison Square Garden and Levi Stadium, you're going Levi. You're going out west.
Speaking of bucket lists, this man right here and I need to do a baseball game together at Virginia Tech or VCU. There, I'm putting it out there because I'd love to join Drew behind the mic for a baseball call. Brian has an answer. Worst sports take I ever heard. Cowherd saying New York Jets fans were dopes for criticizing the hiring of Adam Gase.
Right.
Oops.
Oh, apparently we were ignoring Sensei Drew. I don't think so.
Windhorse equals windy. Yeah. No, I meant what I said. And then Rod isn't a real analyst, so it doesn't count. Yeah, he's got a point. And then he opened with Wendy loves LeBron. No. Shannon Sharp loves LeBron.
Yes. Mr. Shay Shay loves LeBron.
Mr. Shay Shay loves LeBron.
Also,
what the hell else did I miss? Hold on, Drew. Oh God.
If I could be afforded the time to kind of
Brian Windhorse is the worst. Did he do anything else? Of course, he greeted me and I totally missed it. I'm sorry about that, Drew. He greeted me and I totally missed it. JJ, as I review the comments, Tatum put up 0 points against us until the fourth quarter in that game 6.
Yes.
Yeah. And I saw JJ's face. And I hate to pick on JJ, but I saw JJ's face and I loved it because he's the same way I am. When your team you thought had control of the game, but no, and no. Because that key player showed up. How many times did Steph Curry burn LeBron James?
I do have to go back to the morning show for one thing. Was that possible rumor of Sharman Harden going to the Knicks? Was that a thing?
Replace the word was with is. Does that answer your question?
If that ever happens, my condolences to you, Wise. I could not think of a more useless piece to put into a team.
A useless piece of mess.
Than Sharman Harden. I mean, my God.
I got a question for JJ. When you do your scorebook, as I'm prepping mine for tonight with the Nats and the Phillies, JJ, I got a question for you. When you do your scorebook, do you put first and last names along with the position? Because that's out of habit. That's simply out of habit for me. And I'm just wondering if you do the same thing.
Oh, here's a good question.
I'm just wondering if you do the same thing.
Here's a question I've been thinking.
What you got?
All-time great starting pitcher.
Nolan Ryan.
Mine too. Doggone it.
Nolan Ryan. Do you dare ask me such a question?
Doggone it. Nolan Ryan.
You fool.
I mean,
wait, do I have that? Do I have that here?
I think you did. I think you've done it before.
I certainly do. You dare ask me such a question?
You fool! I mean, his delivery is what got me. You fool! Is what hooked me, and he had such a great command on the mound too.
Mm-hmm.
Even when he was having bad games, he did not look like he was shaking.
Mm-hmm. My next favorite of all time, Steve Carlton.
I have 3.
Next behind him, there's a tie.
Mm-hmm.
Roger Clemens and Dwight Gooden.
Well, actually, there's like 4. Number 1's always going to be Nolan Ryan. Number 2, I got to go with the unit.
Big unit, yeah. Randy Johnson.
3, people may think it's questionable, but I was always a big fan of Greg Maddux.
Look, I can't argue with that.
And then
I cannot and will not argue with that. I can't.
And even though he has
with Greg Maddux,
and even though he only has 1 ring, I'm always going to go Burles. Mark freaking Burley.
Hey, Burles, you want to help with that? Absolutely not.
You talk about a serious captain of the White Sox World Series team.
You talk about a man who studied the pitching unit.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a man who studied the pitching unit? Come on now.
Oh, my God.
Come on now.
one of the best, man. One of
Mhm.
the absolute best.
Yeah. Maddox was the location king that he was. Drew says, I like Vic's top 3 pitchers. Yep. Shane Lake, Maddox didn't throw hard, but he dotted.
Yeah.
Same
did.
goes for the greatest closer in the game. Of course, I'm talking about Mariano Rivera,
Yeah.
because Mariano Rivera only had 1 pitch for 20 years. And that, of course, was his cutter.
Okay, I think someone has asked this question before, but I'm gonna ask anyway.
Go ahead.
What game or what particular moment gave you the bug? By that I mean, what games did you watch and you said, I want to do this for a living?
1985 playoff game, Chicago Stadium, Bulls and Bucks. I had the TV on, and no, actually, we didn't have Sports Channel at the time. I take that back. Game 3, Bulls Bucks, 85, and I heard the voice of Jim Durham. That's what. That gave me the bug. And I knew someone was going to ask that question, but that gave me the bug. Let me pose that question to JJ. JJ, what gave you the bug? Roy Halladay, Doc Halladay, the only pitcher to toss a no-hitter in his playoff debut. JJ has a list of them. Nolan Ryan, Sandy Koufax, Steve Carlton, Maddox, and Halladay, Roy Halladay. Bound to change. And I can't argue with Roy Halladay.
I can't argue with any of them.
I can't argue with any of them either.
Those are incredible selections. All of them are incredible selections.
Yeah, they are. I'll be a homer for a moment. Jack McDowell.
Yeah. Oh, here's another good question. How do you, and I think this is what other guys will ask, how do you overcome pre-game jitters or pre-game nerves?
I knew you were going to ask that question.
Well, I know that there's a lot of guys who are getting their teeth cut in, and even guys who are veterans at what you do. I can't answer that question.
Yeah. Well, I can, and I'll tell you how. Because before every game, and JJ, I know you've gone through this. Big Dog, you've been one of my engineers for a long time. All right. I may as well not make it a secret anymore, because some of the parents that know me know this. Victor does not know this. He knows some of the ways that I get over my my nervousness.
Mm-hmm.
Here you go.
That's a good one.
Yeah, a few of them.
That's a good one. I can't argue with that.
A few of them keeps me calm. And when the kids come up to the booth, that keeps me calm also. I have a present for you, Victor.
Okay.
As far as another way that I get over my my angst and my anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
We're due for a break. We'll get to that in just a moment. But you'll love this one.
Yeah.
And I'm going to let this roll for a minute. What I'm going to get together is cue up the clips so I can have them handy. But we'll do audio today.
4 contestants on The Price is Right. And now here's the star of The Price is Right, Bob Barker.
There's 2 of them.
I gotta say, the funniest moment was one young lady ran after they called her name. She ran up and then ran all the way to the other side of the stage and then came back.
Yeah.
Here's what I say: "Come on down."
No, come on down. Yeah. Good old Marlene. Look at that. Y'all look at that clip from 82. All right. Take a pause for a break. And when y'all get back, it's time for some football questions. And I know y'all got many of them. Drop them in the chat. Get them all ready as Ask Brian Anything Friday continues on the Brian Snow Show. We're back in 3 minutes. The thing is, until you can erase 3 Februaries, shut up.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
If you talk, they will hear you.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. And we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. Not just one time, but every chance we get. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids not only need to know the dangers and how to avoid them, they need to hear it often from you. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids and guide them through the challenges of growing up safe and healthy. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
So talk, they hear you. You can do it if you try.
He was only 58 years old when he passed away. That outcome could have been different.
Colorado happens to be one of the worst states for radon levels.
It's in our ground and it seeps up.
The more you breathe radon, the more chance you have of DNA being hit and the cell mutated. The EPA estimates 22,000 lung cancer deaths a year caused by radon.
We all make choices. When it comes to alcohol, kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad.
Bye-bye.
Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Have fun. Hey, have a seat for a second. Remind me about that party again?
Alex is just...
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. They want guidance and honest answers to their questions. And it makes a difference when the message is consistent and part of everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
Wrong button. Well, we are back. It's Ask Brian Anything on this Friday. And I got a question. JJ asked a question. Do you want prep together when you're done? Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. Absolutely. Working on getting my lineup cards also.
Here's another good question. What is the most important thing when it comes to prep?
Everything.
I was gonna say, your reading notes, or
thing.
I would say, was it stats? Was it reading notes? It's like everything. Oh, okay.
Every damn thing. Every damn thing is important when it comes to preparation. I found that out the hard way last night trying to call the Aces and the Liberty. That A, I can't do a game beyond 8 o'clock at night. B, because that was a 10 o'clock tip in Sin City.
And why is it a 10 o'clock tip? No one's up around that time. Well, most people aren't.
It was out west. It was in Vegas.
Oh, okay.
It was in Vegas.
Still, that really sucks for people who are more east.
It does. It does. But
because people who are more east and Midwest, they're not going to be able to be up at that time.
Yeah, and I am one of them. He said, Big Dog says, I thank you very much for that wonderful welcome. Copying old Bob Barker here. You are Larry joins us. How do you stay objective when calling a team you hate root for? Very carefully. Very carefully. Because there are so many times when I stepped away from doing the Chicago Public, Larry, let me answer your question this way. When I stepped away from doing the Chicago Public League on an almost daily basis, and I had to change my operations because they actually thought we were cheating and we weren't. So by 1998, we had moved on to the Chicago Catholic League, and they loved us. And they're like, why are you here? When I would go into CPL arenas, and
I remember this.
When I would go into CPL arenas, and they would just wonder, what am I doing? The best thing for me was revenge, especially when I used to call games for Whitney Young. But when I did the Chicago Catholic League for some 12 seasons, it was tough going into public league buildings. Knowing the stigma is there. Okay?
Yeah.
Knowing the obvious stigma, and I don't have to repeat it here because we talked about it earlier in the week. Knowing that the obvious stigma is there. And it's the same stigma that has dogged Deion Sanders. But Deion Sanders is smart and chooses not to listen to it.
Yeah.
That stigma.
We talked about yesterday.
Yep. That should give you a clue of everything that's going on. That should give you a clue. Inside Ask Brian Anything Day, hour 2 thereof here on the Brian Snow Show. Last one of the week. I am going to be working throughout the course of the weekend and through the holiday to get the entire month. No, I'm not. I'm going to start with today's show and just go forward, because if I try to get the last week, especially the week I was on vacation, up in podcast mode, I'd fall even further behind than I am now. So beginning today, you'll see a new version of the Brian Snow Show podcast. But with a team that I hate, that I was hated, was the moon landing a hoax? No. No. I figured he'd throw a question like that at me. Hawk TV is with us saying afternoon to you.
It was a hoax. Thanks to the NFL referees.
Oh God.
I.e. Cool McCain.
I.e. Cool McCain, yes. And the rant that he went on when Larry and Cool went at it for a good 45 minutes.
God.
That was legendary.
That was
legendary. You got football questions? Throw them concerning teams or your favorite players. Throw them in the chat. That's what the second hour is for this afternoon.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, it is.
This is gonna be my learning lesson here.
I'm trying to get Mike debate in the house. So Victor, throw a football question at me, and I know you got a few.
Oh boy. Well, I'm going to try hard to steer away from, what can the Cowboys do besides pray to get them back to prominence.
Uh-huh.
Here's a good one. What are your predictions for the Raiders?
5-12.
Ooh, that bad.
I love you, Jimmy Garoppolo, but the Raiders are a mess.
I mean, yeah.
I have 2 questions.
Okay.
How the hell are you going to open up holes for Josh Jacobs?
Yeah.
And the second one is, who's going to call the plays?
Very
questions. Love you, Josh McDaniels, but get away from calling the plays, will you please?
How did the Rams pick up the pieces from this dismal year? I mean, they went from Super Bowl champions one year
to also Rams. Rams.
Right.
You look, how do they pick up the pieces? You don't. You blow it up and start over.
Oh, that's going to be tough. That's going to be a couple of years before they can get back to.
It's going to be at least 5 years because they mortgage their future.
Yeah.
They mortgage their future, for God's sakes. Does that tell you anything? They mortgage their future for Jalen Ramsey. And now Jalen Ramsey's in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. And now Jalen Ramsey's in Miami.
What is the future hold for a team like Tennessee Titans?
Push the plunger.
Push the plunger?
Push the plunger.
Does it mean the end of the reign of King Henry?
The end of the reign of King Henry happened after they got beat in Kansas City 3 years ago for the AFC Championship.
I mean, he was putting up massive numbers even then, but I think the injuries have really taken their toll on him.
Well, here's a question Larry threw at me to take us off the board. Do you have an opinion on the Supreme Court eliminating affirmative action in education? I do, but I won't express it here.
Yeah. That's a trap.
I will not express it here. I will not express it here.
Sorry, Larry, that's a trap.
That's a trap, and I ain't walking into it.
That's a trap game.
But with Tennessee on the verge of getting a new stadium as well, because Nissan Stadium's falling by the wayside.
Right.
And it was falling by the wayside when they constructed the darn thing as the Adelphia Coliseum in 1999. Push the plunger, blow it up, and start over.
What?
And you know why I'm saying push the plunger and start it over? And it's nothing against King Henry. Nothing.
Right.
Nothing against King Henry. Their question's quarterback position.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go. Is like they put all of their chips.
Who the hell are they going to put under center?
They put all their chips on.
They put all their chips into Ryan Tannehill, and look how that turned out.
Well, they also put all the chips on Derrick Henry because they figure, well, if Tannehill fails, then King Henry will make up the difference. But now you're starting to run him ragged. So the thing is, you need someone to be that one to punch.
There's no value right now in trading Ryan Tannehill. None.
No.
None. You don't do it now. You wait until the top of the season, and then you cut him and send him packing.
What do the Cardinals do with Kyler play like Booty Murray?
Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more.
I mean, I would like that too, but they've already signed him. They've already extended him, haven't they?
You do what they did in the movie Glory in 1990. Tear it up. Ooh. Tear it up. Denzel Washington, Morgan Freeman, tear it up. Yep. That's what you do. You tear up that contract and you kick them out and lock the doors. Now, I'm sorry, Michelle, my good friend that's out in Arizona, that's a big Cardinal fan, but you ain't winning with Kyler Murray.
No.
I don't care who's the coach. I don't care who's the coach. You are not winning with Kyler Murray, period. You're not. You're not winning with Kyler Murray.
Which division is the biggest toss-up? By that, which division has the biggest free-for-all of everybody can win?
Yeah, that's easy. NFC East.
NFC East, yeah.
NFC, that's easy. NFC East.
I mean, Eagles, Giants.
The Eagles to the Redskins.
Yeah.
That's a toss-up. That's a toss-up division. Now, Philadelphia got out to a great start last year and basically put the division. They had the division on lockdown, but then somehow Dak Prescott figured out how to play football. Somehow the Washington Redskins came together as a franchise until they got beat down in San Francisco and then lost a gimme against the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
You would think, especially with the Redskins, you would think it would piss them off enough to come back stronger.
What is your projected record for the Cleveland Clowns? I mean Browns.
0-17.
Oh, they're going Detroit route?
They're going the Detroit route. 0-17. Here's a question from Larry. Larry, let me know where you're texting from so we can shout you out properly. Is Kirk Cousins the top 5 all-time quarterback or the worst player in NFL history? He ain't the top 5 all-time quarterback. He's not even top 50 or 500. That answer your question?
He's one of the worst.
Kirk 2 Chainz Cousins is one of the worst quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life.
Fraud.
Period.
He's a fraud.
Like Kyler Murray, he's a big-time fraud.
Okay, since we talked about Detroit.
All right. Shane Lake gives me this one. Who's the one? Shane Lake coming to us from the state of Maine. Who's the one player in the league that deserved the Samuel L. Jackson get this blank player off my blank team? Do you have time for that full list?
Deshaun Watson.
Do you have time for that? Do you have time for that full list, Shane? I'll give you a few right now. Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
Ezekiel Elliott already got cut.
He's gone. Deshaun Watson. Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers needs to be kicked out of the league and have him lock the doors.
Yep. Kyler Murray.
I'm like Mike. I'm like Mike Francesa. I lock the doors before they come back. I would. I'd lock the doors.
Who else?
Right? I don't get who freaking
Zach Wilson.
cares? I bet. Bruh. Go back to college. Please. Go back to college. You ain't worth it. Kyler Murray, you're not worth it. You're not worth it, Kyler Murray. And people don't like when I say it like that, but find the lie.
He's not.
Find the damn lie.
Cam Newton, same thing.
Good, dear God. No. God.
You talk about wasted potential. Thy name is Cam Newton. And I hate it because I was a Cam fan. I was a Cam fan
when he was at Auburn. But when he got with the Carolina Panthers, all that changed.
That's when I was a fan of his because you could tell that he had the athleticism to do what he needed to do. But like I said, once they changed that playbook to just be all read option, it killed them.
They messed up. The 49ers did the same thing for Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, that's another one.
Look where it got him.
Colin Kaepernick.
After the first game of 2013, look where it got him.
Yep.
I know. I'm going to get yelled at, but I'm 50 and I don't care anymore. I love speaking the truth, and I've been doing this for 30 years.
Apologies, Mr. McCarthy, but we have to tell the truth and shame the devil. I know that's your kid.
I will always shame the devil.
I know that's your QB, but my God, Aaron Rodgers is useless.
We got an answer for Larry, and we love him for this. Florida via the Jersey Shore. Sweet.
Okay.
Sweet. Hey, that's my QB. Not for long. I'm sorry, Ryan McCoffey. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Now I know I'm going to make the Irish McCoffey come out, but you are putting your season in the hands of Aaron bleeping Rodgers.
Espresso McCoffee.
Say that again for those of y'all on the cheap seats at Old Shea Stadium. You are putting your season in the hands of Aaron bleeping Rodgers. Wow. Anybody else see a problem with that? He ain't done a damn thing since 2010.
Really, he hasn't. He absolutely hasn't.
I'll say it again, and I'll say it even louder than I'm saying it now. Aaron Rodgers hasn't done a doggone thing since 2010. Not a doggone bleeping blank thing. You want an example? Check the playoff record.
What about Russell Wilson?
Who's he?
Who
the hell is Russell Wilson?
I know you're not a Seahawks fan, but my gracious.
Since he left Seattle, he hasn't done much. Since
when he was
since the pass on the 1 yard line, what has Russell Wilson done?
And look, that's Pete Carroll's fault. I can't put that on Wilson.
I can put it on Russell, and I'll tell you why. You have the autonomy on the field when you're in the huddle. You may hear one play in your helmet, but you already know what's working for you. Why didn't you stick with it?
But here's the thing. Russell was not an audible type of quarterback. He should have been. He should have been, but he wasn't.
He should have been when he came in the league.
He's always been whatever the coach says.
He said Pete Carroll has had Russell Wilson bent over a counter since that day.
Yes.
I hate saying it like that, but find the lie.
No, there's only to be found. But that's what I'm saying is that he's never been the type to be able to. It's the same thing with Dak Prescott. Never been able to say, you know what, I'm gonna call an audible here.
Yeah, because
the coach wants.
Because Dak Prescott has no balls.
That's a difference. That's a bit of color. That's the horse of a blue and silver color.
Dak Prescott has no mentality. Thank you, Wise.
Hey. For the likes of Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott, we do actually suggest that you tune in to Mentality. It will.
Please do. Please, it's a hoot. It's hilarious, and it's a wonderful show. Doggone it!
And it actually.
I just dropped my cup. I just think out there was no coffee in it.
And
speaking of which,
insight,
espresso my coffee with a shot of Irish cream coming your way Monday, Snowman. Bring it on! Bring it on! I'll have my shot of Irish cream also. All right. I'll have 2 shots of espresso my coffee. Bring it on! And I know he means it in fun. I know. Yeah. I know he means it in fun.
It's just,
and McCarthy backs it up with it. Oh Lord! Hey, I'm overdue for a break, but Shane Lake just gave me a hell of a question.
Okay.
And I will answer it. Victor and I both will answer it in 2.5 minutes. The thing is, until you can erase 3 Februaries, shut up.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is The Brian Snow Show.
Thursday nights are wrestling night on CSTV. Tune in every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific to see all the amazing next level pro wrestling stars on Thursday Night Throwdown on CSTVNow.com and the CSTV app on your Roku device.
We're not a cooking show. We're a show about cooking. We turn the camera around and point it at you. Our show takes place right inside your kitchen.
Hey y'all, Snowman here. Catch me, Cole Johnson, Wise El Jefe, Vicala, and the rest of the usual suspects and a few unusual suspects as we bring you 2 hours of the best sports talk you will ever watch and listen to. It's called Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Now on at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific on CSTV and CSTVNow.com. Join us, won't you?
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is The Brian Snow Show.
Welcome back to this Ask Brian Anything edition, Friday edition of the Brian Snow Show. Glad to have y'all with us. And we've been having a lot of fun today. A lot of fun, especially with some of the questions that we've had. Good gracious. Okay. Now, I teased y'all before the break. Let me find it. That Where'd it
I
go?
saw it.
Okay, I see it. I see it now. I teased y'all before the break that I had a hell of a question to answer. And here it is.
Oh boy.
What fan base is more ignorant, Cowboys or Bronxexuals? I hate you, Shane Lay, for that question, but I love you at the same time.
Why, Shane? I'm a fan of yours already, especially with the in-depth stuff you did yesterday. But why? Why?
You've asked that question, Victor.
Well, here's the thing. Before I can hang my hat on saying, no, the Bronxexuals are in a completely different league.
Until.
But then this past year has come about. And the differences between Cowboy Nation, the moronic republic of Cowboy Nation, I might add.
Yes, please qualify. Yes, please qualify that.
And the Bronxexuals.
Please qualify that.
The differences are getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
I've never known. I don't know anymore. I don't know if I can say that there's a difference.
I don't think there is. You know what's scary? It's getting worse.
Much worse.
Yeah, and I'll say it again. You know what? It's getting worse.
I mean, my God. I've seen people say,
listen, let me interrupt and put it this way. Have y'all seen my latest Bronxexual confession?
Yeah.
If not, go to the new Snowman in the Morning page and check it out, because I'm going to upload it and put it there. I'll do all the video updates because they'll automatically upload, but there's a few bugs that I have to fix.
Mm-hmm.
But my God, I mean, I was on vacation.
Yeah,
I was on vacation, y'all, last week.
Look, the only thing I can say now is that at least I have yet to hear a Cowboys fan say, if I had a choice between winning $1 billion or having Jarrell win $1 billion, I'd rather him win the $1 billion. We haven't had that yet. Okay, now as far as Dak being a Hall of Famer,
we've had it with Bronxexuals.
Yes,
we had that exact. Listen, there was a Bron. Shucks.
Oh no.
I'm not even gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna repeat it. I'm not even gonna put the peripherals behind it because I don't have all of them yet. But okay. I will say this. There was a Bronxexual that said, if I had a choice of winning $1 million, wait a minute, I'll do even better. I'll find the doggone thing, because my reaction to it, according to a lot of people, was quite epic.
I'll put it this way.
I'll take about 30 seconds to see if I can find it. Go ahead, Victor.
While you're doing that, I was on vacation. I was on vacation. So unfortunately, that meant I accidentally missed the show.
Yes.
Brian sent that to me.
Oh boy.
And I just sat there. And I was going for a haircut too.
Yes. Yes.
I nearly screamed in my barber's ear. I was so heated from that one tweet. Y'all want to know where Hooked on Bronx came from? It came from that.
And in the midst of me going completely off for about 5.5 minutes, came these two words.
You fool!
Once again.
You fool! You absolute fool.
I took a little bit of Gilbert Gottfried from his 1998 appearance on Hollywood Squares, and then this.
You fool! I'm gonna put it to like this to answer Shane's question. Which fan base is more ignorant? It's pretty much a tie.
Mm-hmm.
I hate saying that.
Which is how I say it. Larry comes to us from Florida. Do you have favorite teams that you root for, and who are they? Well, there's two football teams here in the household, the Colts and the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
The basketball teams I root for are the true Holy Trinity, the Bulls, the Spurs, and the Warriors.
Yes.
For college, I am a big-time Northwestern fan, as you know, but I'm also a fan of the Georgia Bulldogs. They got me started watching college football. College basketball, I'm all about the Cats, the Northwestern Wildcats. There's a piece of me that still loves my North Carolina Tar Heels.
Same.
Because the greatest player in the world came from there, Mr. Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball, I have a few that I follow. The White Sox, the Astros, the Cardinals, and the San Francisco Giants. But out of those, my one favorite, I'm a Southsider.
Yep.
The Chicago White Sox.
Me.
That answers your question.
Me, of course, Dallas, especially the 90s.
1991.
Still a Bears fan. Becoming a, well, because it's a question I ask myself.
I couldn't help it.
I know.
I couldn't help it.
Lions. I'm also a fan of the Lions, Niners.
Once again, why Lions? Why the
Lions?
Barry Sanders. Perhaps.
Barry Sanders.
Okay, I'll accept it.
And like I said, I didn't make a comeback.
Survey says, "Ding." All right, I'll accept it.
Basketball.
That's one of those times. That's one of those times during a game show where you hear the judge say, "Sir, we will accept that answer."
Yep. For basketball, it's the Bulls, Warriors, Spurs, old school Lakers.
The Showtime Lakers. Yes.
Heat when Alonzo Mourning was on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Old school Hornets.
I can live with that.
The Rockets for a time. Used to be a fan of the Mavs too.
Mark Aguirre.
Yes. In terms of baseball, Sox all the way. Sox and Cards. Sox was because of myself, because I am a Southsider. Cards because of the girl that I was dating for a long time named Rain. She was a big Cards fan.
Larry has this question. Are the White Sox of the past two seasons the most disappointing team ever? Nope. You have a team called the New York Mets.
Yeah.
You have a team called the Cleveland Cadavers. I mean, Cleveland Indians.
I mean, yes.
You have a team called the Chicago Scrubs.
That's not disappointing. We know where they are. Trash.
Yeah, I know.
Hockey.
Blackhawks.
For me, Blackhawks, LA Kings.
Oilers got me started. Oilers in 85 got me started. But then there's me loving Eddie the Eagle Belfour.
Yep. For me, also, I'm big into IHL. So I am a big Chicago Wolves fan. Yep.
Chicago Wolves. That's the only team I've ever loved.
Yep.
That is the only team I've ever loved. Is the Chicago Wolves. Ever.
I think that's pretty much it for college. I don't really watch a lot of college, but I've always been a fan of Challenge. I've always been a fan of Chapel Hill.
So you watch college. Don't ever tell that lie again.
I said I didn't watch a lot of college. I don't watch any.
Lies. Lies.
Georgia, of course.
Of course. So you don't watch a lot of college, huh? Lies. This is the same guy I've known for 20 plus years that hates the hell out of Notre Dame the same way I do.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing because my dad
and you hate them out of pure. And if I know you as well as I do, pure unadulterated spite because of a couple of women that kind of did you wrong.
Yeah, that's true too.
I have another reason, but I won't say it here. I got quite a few reasons, but I won't say them here. I can't.
For college basketball, I've been kind of partial to UConn. They always seem to come out pretty well.
How can you not be? How can you not be?
Oh, I think I answered Dave's question about NHL. It's Hawks and LA Kings, and Carolina Canes.
Well, yeah, Canes I can live with because I lived there. I lived there for 2 years. There when they came into being.
IHL for David 2000 question. What in the world is IHL? IHL, I believe, is the International Hockey League.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a minor league hockey league. That's where the Wolves came from.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like they were ultimate championships. Like we
I
were
have
in the lull.
I have something for you.
Okay.
And all I'm gonna say is prepare to hold your stomach and your head from laughter.
Okay.
Victor doesn't watch a lot of college sports.
Why the f you lying? Why you always lying?
Why you call me out like that? My God.
Because you made it easy.
Fair, but still.
You made it easy. Victor doesn't watch a lot of college sports.
You fool!
Why the f you lying? Why you always lying?
You fool! Oh Lord.
And I can't believe we're going to do this on the afternoon show, but I'm going to do it anyway. And now a selection from the Wonder Bread Choir entitled "Why You Trippin'?"
That's unfair.
Why?
So I got laughed
Only
at
because
by
I
the
held that one
Wonder
for
Bread
24
Choir.
Only because I held that one for 24 hours.
I got laughed at by the Wonder Bread Choir.
Yes. Hell yes.
Oh, something I didn't really remember. The Chicago Bulls are the AHL affiliate for the Carolina Hurricanes. There explains everything there.
Victor doesn't watch college.
Why the f you lying? Why you always lying?
Victor doesn't watch college sports.
Why the f you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my gosh! Stop f***ing lying.
I'm gonna take one of yours. What'd I say? What'd I say?
Piece and breaking news across the Brian Snow Show's desk. Victor watches more college sports than me. In other news, grass is green. I'm
Larry,
sorry, I couldn't resist that.
that's fine. Larry has an amazing question. Greatest moment as a sports fan.
We'll answer that, and we'll answer Big Dog Shane Lake's question in 180 seconds. The thing is, until you can erase 3 Februaries, shut up.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
If you're talking, they will hear you.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. And we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. Not just one time, but every chance we get. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids not only need to know the dangers and how to avoid them, they need to hear it often from you. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids and guide them through the challenges of growing up safe and healthy. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
So talk, they hear you. You can do it if you try.
He was only 58 years old when he passed away. That outcome could have been different.
Colorado happens to be one of the worst states for radon levels.
It's in our ground, and it seeps up.
The more you breathe radon, the more chance you have of DNA being hit and the cell mutated. The EPA estimates 22,000 lung cancer deaths a year caused by radon.
We all make choices. When it comes to alcohol, kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad.
Bye-bye.
Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
You have fun. Hey, have a seat for a second. Remind me about that party again?
Alex is just...
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. They want guidance and honest answers to their questions. And it makes a difference when the message is consistent and part of everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is The Brian Snow Show.
$39 after the hour. Vicala joins me. It's Ask Brian Anything Friday. Want to thank y'all for coming on and dropping some questions. And we got this one. Greatest moment as a sports fan. That's an unfair question because I got too damn many of them.
Same. Oh my goodness.
That's an unfair Larry. That's an unfair question. I would tell you to go stand in the corner, but it's a fair question at the same time. So we're gonna be nice.
All right, Snowman.
No, I'm not. That ain't fair, man.
All right, Snowman, you got to go first.
No, I don't.
You want me to go first? I got a few. Actually, I could dump it down to three. I'd went to three.
Number three.
Number three, 1998, when the Bulls won their sixth championship.
Okay.
1993, when they did their first three-peat.
John Paxson.
Yep.
And number one.
You already know what number one is.
2005.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
2005.
2005 World Series champions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'll have to narrow it. So Victor already set the precedent. I got to narrow it down to three.
Mm-hmm.
And that's unfair. I can put there's so many I can put in that in those top three. So damn many. All right. I will try my best. I don't even know where to begin. I really don't. I don't even know where to begin. I hate you, Victor.
Hey.
I know.
I was like, I gave the opportunity to go first.
Yeah, you did, but because I had to think. Because I had to actually do this moron thing called thinking.
Yeah, I know, right? How dare you?
Let me play one of Victor's favorite moments. This is June 12, 1993.
They want Michael to get a full head of steam, try to keep him in the middle of the floor. Well, Pippen got the snap. There's Paxson for three. Yes, the Bulls take a 1-point lead, and Phoenix calls for time with 3 and 9.
There you go.
My God, man. When
that's my number three.
Okay.
There you go. That's my number three.
That's number three.
And that's That's my number 3, and then I can't put a 2 up there because what it's going to wind up being is a tie.
Okay.
For number 1 moment of all time.
Okay.
I have a tie at number 1. And here's one of them.
Ball past Jenks up the middle of the infield. Uribe has it. He throws. Out! A White Sox winner and a world championship. The White Sox have won the World Series, and they're mobbing each other on the field.
I had to put that one there.
You have to.
I celebrated that with Pops before I lost him. And the other part for me, that is a tie. Where are you at? Where are you at, Dag Nabbit? That is a tie for number 1 is this.
3rd and 3. We'll see a pickup sometime on the right side, possibly. Montana looking, throwing in the end zone. Clark caught it! Dwight Clark!
That made me a 49er fan forever.
That's just wrong, man.
And Larry, was that a George Carlin? Yes, it was.
That's just wrong, man.
I got this real moron thing I do. It's called Thinking. 1992, jamming in New York. What's wrong?
That was just wrong. That was wrong.
No, it's not.
That was wrong.
Why?
Why? I know why you picked that, because that was literally like the start of the era of Montana.
Well, duh. Greatest quarterback to ever play.
But really?
What?
Against the doggone Cowboys.
Yes.
You know that still hurts Cowboys fans to this day. There are Cowboy fans in therapy.
Shut up and watch.
3rd and 3. We'll see a pickup sometime on the right side, possibly. Montana looking, throwing in the end zone. Clark caught it! Dwight Clark!
What?
I'm just gonna.
I see the look on your face. What?
You can't see the look on my face.
What? What?
Okay, I'm gonna say this in one word, and you're gonna laugh when you hear it, or 3 words. How could you?
Oh, that's easy. Y'all made it easy.
No, the reason why I said those 3 words.
Oh, I know exactly why.
I know, but they didn't.
Oh, I know exactly where you got him from. You fool.
One of my favorite moments in Ho Chunk.
Oh man.
We were doing a couple of games, and for some reason, I don't know if people just lost a compass or they don't have GPS, but somewhere on the deep south side known as Linwood, Illinois, there's a lot of Cup fans.
Yeah.
And this lady came up.
You know what, Larry? I hate you for this. I hate you for this question, but I know you mean it in fun. The real question is, was Montana throwing it away? No. You can't throw that ball away and not expect Dwight Clark to not come down with it.
I'll put it like this: like it was a pretty pass, but there are still Cowboys fans who are still like in therapy to this day because
now Emerson Walls is in therapy, for God's sakes.
True.
Emerson Walls. Listen, until he got to the New York Giants in 1990, Everson Walls was in therapy for 9. I mean this kiddingly. Everson Walls was in therapy since January 10th, 1982 until the start of the 1990 season.
Yeah.
Why do I mention the 1990 season? Because the Giants got even. Everson Walls was on that team. They beat the 49ers at the gun, and they won Super Bowl 25. That's why. Everson Walls was in therapy until the end of Super Bowl 25.
Fair.
And I mean that very kiddingly.
Here's
But-
the funny.
Here, go ahead.
So this lady taps Brian on the shoulder and says,
"Oh no,
we're done with all the sock stuff. We
Oh.
want to hear Harry Carey."
Oh
And
no.
Snowman
Oh,
just
no. Oh boy.
Snowman was like, "No, you don't." Yes, we do. No, you don't. Now, mind you, I got done with all my games. I'm watching this. And so it's like, want to hear Harry? She's like,
Lord.
yes, we want to hear something Cubs related. We want Harry.
And I mean, we went at it back and forth for a good 10 minutes.
Yes. And
we
so,
went back and forth in this for a good 10 minutes.
And so we get to the fifth inning stretch, and someone's like, all right.
It qualifies as the
seventh inning stretch.
Seventh inning stretch. I'm trying to find something that will illustrate what we. You know what? Go with it. I'll have to play this audibly. Go with it.
So he says, all right, just remember, you asked for this.
And this is here's the point. Here's the point. They said we want to. I won't even give it away.
Once you hear root for the White Sox, everybody's face collectively fell.
Every Cub fan in that joint fell. Every Cub fan facing that joint fell.
And I turned and walked off. But I heard this.
You walked into the bar.
Yep. And
all right. Victor, this is toward the end of the day. Victor turned and walked in. Actually, it was middle of the day. I take that back.
Mm-hmm.
Victor turned and walked into the bar.
And the lady just walked up and said, how could you?
All the Sox fans were coming up to me and shaking my hand.
Yep.
All right. They were coming up to me and shaking my hand.
And I was like, well, she asked for it. It's what she got. So that's why I was like,
what we got.
So like when I knew that was coming, that's the best one. I knew that the number one clip was gonna be Montana's pretty pass.
Yes.
In the corner of the end zone.
The actual clip. The actual clip, and thanks to WSNS in Chicago, Channel 44. The actual clip that I played was this from July 14th, 1980.
And I was just like, I know it's coming, but still, it hurts. Because that almost systematically marked the end of the reign of the Cowboys, was that particular pass on that particular play. Because we did deem ourselves untouchable until that.
They hated me after I pulled this stunt.
Oh, yeah. Oh, here's a good question. What place did you find to have the most hostile territory? What place did you find the most hostile?
Wrigley Field. Raggedy ass field.
Well, yeah.
Do you have to ask such a question? Do you have to ask such a question?
Well, I was saying in terms of like when you called the games.
Raggedy ass field.
It's still the same.
Raggedy ass field. All right, let me stop. Let me be serious. Hell no, I ain't changing my answer. Raggedy ass field.
Oh, good question, Larry.
2007 Chicago Public League Championship. I was covering the game for Whitney Young, and yet there were a ton of Lane Tech fans there.
Oh, yeah.
There were a ton of Lane Tech. I love them dearly. I love them all dearly. There were a ton of Lane Tech Indian fans there. To the point where one of the catchers I had at Ho Chunk greeted me as a Lane Tech Indian fan when I was covering a Lane Tech game one year. And it was the catcher, and I can't recall his name. He wore number 32. I can't recall his name.
Good question by Larry. Why are the Cubs so much more beloved than the Sox?
Because they're easily accessible by television.
That and they're the first one. That's really
because they were easily accessible by television for many years, which kind of led to the fall of WGN.
Because which kind
of led to the fall of WGN. And Larry, I love George Carlin. Get on the plane, get on the plane. F you, I'm getting in the plane.
Here's the thing.
God, the look on their faces when they did, it's like they had tears in their eyes.
Oh yeah. Here's the thing. The Cubs
it's like they had tears in their eyes, and it's like, how could you? Shut up.
The Cubs have the longevity, the Cubs have the media outreach.
Oh yeah, they were easily accessible.
Yes, and they're more historically.
You can't argue they were more easily accessible.
Yeah,
they were easily accessible.
Yeah, and 2005, the Sox came back. Not only tore the Cubs a new one,
beat their ass,
but then went on to
he beat their ass. They beat their ass. And I'm happy.
The most satisfying thing was there were pictures of Wrigley Field
right after. Congratulations, Chicago White Sox.
Absolutely. It was so doggone satisfying, man.
Yeah, it was. It was quite satisfying. Drank that in for an entire year.
Yeah.
Drank that in for the entire year.
And then 2016 happened.
I will not talk about that here.
I stayed in the house.
Give 2/5 of a half of a flying bloody blank what happened. I don't.
You stayed in the house.
I stayed in the house, surrounded by pizza, surrounded by beer, surrounded by wine, surrounded by Pepsi, surrounded by coffee, because people were bringing me coffee every day. Right. I didn't have a coffee maker like I do here. People were bringing me coffee every day. I mean, they didn't care. Listen, there were some Cub fans that were gracious to me.
Yeah.
They were gracious to me. Unfortunately, they live nowhere near me.
Yeah.
Some live as far as 45 minutes away from me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And it's like, doggone it. I don't know. I kept saying, I don't know what to do. But I wasn't as addicted to hot coffee as I was to iced coffee and iced tea. And y'all know one of my foils is Starbucks.
Yep.
Y'all know one of my foils is Starbucks. So I'm like, what the hell do I do now? How do I do this? Well, I got a call from a friend. And friend says, are you hiding from Cub fans? Yes. And friend says, what do you need? Food will be nice. Well, I already know that because I already got some groceries for you. What? Sorry. I don't want no one hearing me. What else do you need? Anything from Starbucks? 3 iced tea, green tea green tea lemonades. Biggest one? Yes. Ice? Yes. Okay. Give me an hour and I'll get everything to you. Do you know this friend of mine bought me $200 worth of groceries? This wonderful friend bought me $200 worth of groceries.
My gracious.
The green tea that she got from me didn't have ice in it, so I can consume it slowly.
Mm-hmm.
She saw all the beer that I had and brought me another case. She saw all the Pepsi I had and brought me 2 extra cases. And she literally told me, unless you have to drive somewhere to do a game, don't leave.
Don't move.
The people around here are Cup fans and they're nuts.
And they're going nuts.
I was stocked up for 2.5 months. Only time I came out is if A, the ex blank wasn't stalking me, and B, I had to do a game. That's the only time I came out of the house.
See,
That's the only time I came out of the house.
I wish I had that luxury, but I didn't.
I got lucky to have that luxury.
Because not only was I working that day, the day after they won.
Oh God!
But I was working on the Mag Mile on North Michigan Avenue.
I am so sorry.
Across the street from the WGN building.
Oh dear. Were you at Disco Demolition Night? Nope. I didn't go to my. That was 1979. I didn't go to my first game until 1982. Oh God. I'm sorry you had to live through all that venom. I'm sorry.
It was.
I mean that from the. It was hard. Listen, we'll leave with this. It was so horrible. Victor called me crying.
Yeah. Everywhere.
Victor called me crying in the midst of trying to get on the train and get home because he didn't have a car at the time. And he said, I was tempted to call you to come get me.
Yeah.
Man, Victor, you could have. But you're in the house with the look. You're my best friend. The next night, Victor went to work and had to deal with all that again. Victor said, F this. He called me, and his literal sentence to me was, quote, F this, please come get me.
Yeah.
And I took off.
I couldn't deal with it.
I took off like a rocket to go get my best friend. And I met him. I never seen Victor jump that fast into a vehicle.
I can't deal with Cubdom. I can't deal with Cubdom.
Listen, folks. I know we got to go, but I'll leave out with this. I drove so fast down Lakeshore Drive to pick up my friend. I don't drive in downtown Chicago unless it's completely necessary. Guess what? This one was necessary. Victor, thanks for coming on and hanging out with me today, my friend.
Thanks for letting me ramble.
Everyone that joined for this edition of the Brian Snow Show. We got to go. Have a great weekend. I'm working next week to bring y'all some more great content. See y'all Monday. God bless you, and I love you all.
Thank you for tuning into The Brian Snow Show, where sports is the base, life and fun.